good enough for me.
Good morning, everybody. We'll give it a minute for Facebook to catch up. And I'm just going to mute my phone so we don't get interrupted. Maybe finish a piece of my muffin that I'm supposed to eat breakfast hours ago. Well, we have so much going on in the shop. It's like crazy. Line work, oh my goodness, the fabric is gorgeous and I love it. And I have my kid. I was very surprised that not more people showed up yesterday, but it is, I'm warning you ahead of time on the website. So that means it's not going to stick around for very long. We've got 2 blocks. Hopefully we'll see if anybody shows up. So the first block, and I've done a little bit of prep work as usual, just to make this, because it's a lot of the same, and help get these blocks done. So hopefully you can see this one. Oh, maybe not. Hold on, let's see what's going on. I should check this. Let's see if that works. All right, here we go. You can see. Okay, here is block 21. We've got 4 patches in the corner, and I've already done 3 of them. And then we've got the 4 outside crosses were directions, north, south, east, and west, are the same fabric, and then the center square. So I'm just going to do this small 4 patch, and then it's very simple once you've done the 4 patch to put them together in like a 9 patch. So it'll be 3 rows. So how is everybody doing so far? I heard Friday we're going to be cold. And I am sewing these with a scant 1/4 of an inch, just as an FYI, because they're so small. But I heard it was going to be really cold, like 40s and 50s cold. I don't know what's going on there because we're April and it should be warm. So why are we getting that cold? I have no idea. When I iron the seam on both of these little squares, I iron them in the same direction so that I can flip them and the seams will nest nicely. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm actually okay with the cold. You know, a few days here and there, I'm fine with it. And I'm gonna rip this one out because I don't like the way that seam is. I'm okay. I'm one of those people that I'm always hot, so I like the cool weather. But it's just unusual to be in April and get down that cold. So we will see. So we've got some new Camelot fabric coming in for the new Winnie the Pooh. And it's Eeyore and Piglet. Be happy. I'm trying to think what else we have coming in. There's so much. It's just crazy. So this one is going this way. All right, then we're gonna nest the seams. So we've got one seam on the bottom going this way, one seam going that way, and we're gonna butt them up against each other and they nest beautiful. When I pin it on an angle, grabbing both of the seams. That way I can sew right along and stop with my needle down before I actually have to pull out the pin. Sometimes, I shouldn't say sometimes, a lot of times, just the pulling out the pin is enough to misalign your seams. I never sew over my pins. And voila, our 4-patch. So I'm just gonna iron that real quick. And then we will put our block together. Nice thing about the 4 patches is as long as you put 2 opposite pieces together, it doesn't matter if the seam is going up and down or going this way, no matter which way you turn it, however you need it, it'll go together. All right, and now I'm gonna chain stitch again, going all the way down the two blocks on 3 rows. So what else is going on, people? We had fun this past weekend with our first Handy Quilter Ruler Club. And we had our Block of the Month ruler class. And I don't know, a lot of people in and out. I think everybody's starting to like ruler work as much as I do, if that's possible. Because I really like ruler work. A lot. All right. Now I'm just going to iron our blocks. So what I'm doing is I am ironing my seam towards this tan neutral, because we have one in each, at least one in each of the rows. So by ironing the seam towards that neutral, my rows will automatically nest. And in order to make sure that I'm ironing towards the right seam, I put that fabric on top when I set my seams. So when I turn it over, or turn the first fabric up and over, it's automatically on the right side. Things are just, I don't know, they're weird. We've got so much going on. We finally have all of our batting in, but it took a month, which is still amazes me that we're still having that many issues, but we are. It took a month for my batting order to come in, which is crazy. We're all caught up on our notions as far as steamosine, and we've got a ton of it now, including some gallon jugs of the lavender, which is a lot of people's favorites. All right, now we're just going to sew our 3rd block onto our rows, and then we'll sew our rows together, and we will be good on the 1st block today. We've got our next hybrid class starting in April for bags. And I can even show you what we're working on if you'd like. Once I get this block done. We had some, along with the line work, we had some beautiful ombre, gelato ombres came in, which if any of you took the 2 fabric Bargello class we did, the ombre that we used in those were the gelato ombres, so they were very popular. What else did we get? Oh, we got some Kimberbell pre-cuts in. Which are always fun. Everybody loves Kimberbell. Right. I'm still waiting on more Kimberbells. I'm still waiting on some other fabric from Line Works. It's like, I don't know, hit or miss on what's coming in and what's not coming in. I don't get it. Okay. We have our 3 rows in the box, and now we're just gonna pin them. And because we've already set our seams and nested our seams in the same direction, they will nest perfectly. You don't have to re-iron your seam. Oops. Looks like my needle came unthreaded. What are you guys working on? Oh, I got something to post. I forgot. I love it when people bring in their completed quilts and projects that I help them pick out fabric. And one of my students did she's one of the beginner students, did the beginner's class quilt in all the Minnie Mouse dots. Oh my God, it came out so cute. We sent it off to the long armor, so I'll have to post a picture later on. Hi, Rose. How are you? It really did come out cute. It's black and red and white and pink. All right, we got one more row on this one. And this block is done. Please keep on posting what you're working on and your completed projects. I love to see them. Absolutely love it. Because I have to live vicariously through you since I don't get to sew much for myself anymore. Another one done. Let me know how you like this quilt. I thought it was a great experience builder and to help you work on your basics as far as seam alignment and consistent stitching. I thought it was a great project for that. Now, because I did a scant 1/4 of an inch, I'm going to trim this block up a little bit, and we'll sew it to the row. Wait a minute. Actually, this starts the next row. So next week, we actually have 2 rows now. I'll show you the second row ready to stitch together. So I'll show you how I did that too next week. There we go. Because here is the second row that we finished. All right, now we're working on the third row already. Hard to believe. It's come fast. Okay, block 22. So as usual, I have already done some of the prep work. It's a lot of half square triangles. And how I do the half square triangles is, imagine there's an imaginary line going from this point to this point. I've got 2 fabrics right side together, and you stitch a 1/4 of an inch on one side of the line and a 1/4 of an inch on the other side. But having the Greek glide table, all I do is, and with the 1/4 inch foot with the guide, is put the guide on the corner and start sewing and keeping this corner lined up on my lines of my Greek glide. It just makes it takes one step out of the process. I'm not saving hours, but I am saving some time. So now all I'm going to do is iron this seam on these 2, and we will be ready to put this one together. Once you've done sewing on each side of the line, just cut on the line and you go 2 squares to 2 half square triangles. There you go. Now to make sure I put these in the right place. There you go. And just like we have been doing, all it is a 9 patch. We're going to sew them together in rows, and we're going to chain piece. Nice thing about something this like this is there's not a lot of seam alignment. And as I've told you before, I do not cut my door gears. 99% of the time, I find that I don't have to, and they actually do help me after a while. If I'm trying to line up my seams, that V that's created, that's where I'm going to target for my stitches. It creates a natural target in the seam. Most of the time, I do not find that they create that much bulk. And like in this case, it really does help me line up, because you can line up your seams and feel that they're comfortable. And you have a perfect little V right there, that both tips are the same height. And it really works out for the best. If you don't feel comfortable keeping your door gears, by all means, take them off. But at least give it a try. You never know if it's a better way of doing things. Not necessarily better, but different, and might work better for you unless you try it. So try it. See what happens. What's the worst that could happen? You find out it doesn't work for you. Not a big deal. Okay. So I'm going to make sure, because these blocks go in all different ways, I want to make sure that I put my seams, or iron my seams where they need to be. So. But try it. That's how I did it. I tried it. And I found that it works better for me just to keep the dog ears off on. And I save, what, a few minutes each quilt? Sometimes more if you're doing a big quilt that has a lot of half square triangles. It's just one less thing to do. Now, if you were working with a lot of precision piecing, or a lot of half square triangles going, or, close to the center of a block, you might want to cut them because then they'll cut down on any bumps or excess fabric that you have in the way. But for the most part, nope. I find that they were fine. It just doesn't bother me. Let's see. So now we just have to put the final block on each row on a square. Are there any classes that you would like, or a technique that you would like to learn? I'm working on some new ruler work, reverse applique classes, and also some demos for ruler work, both on the long arms and mid arm and the domestic machines. I want to do it on all of them. Although the mid arm is pretty close to working on a domestic too. But if you have any ideas, things that you wanted to learn, let me know. I can't guarantee I'll have a class on everything, but if I can, I will. All right, block 22 is almost done. Make sure. That way. You know what? I think this one is wrong. See, it's not easy. It's not hard, I should say, to get these turned around, especially when you're working with all these neutral fabrics. So that's okay. I'm just going to turn it around really quick. If you find yourself getting confused because in the blocks it's A, B, and C for fabric, put yourself a little cut a little bit of the fabric, just a small stitch of fabric, and put A is this fabric, B is this fabric, just so that you don't have to worry about getting confused. Not that it's a big deal, but if it'll help, why not? All right. Almost done. my mistake. Then we'll be ready to go. I got to see Sebastian this week. And I know it's not a big deal, but realistically, with how much of that I work, it's the most I've seen of this county since I've moved here. So now we're going to put the rows together. I don't get a lot of traveling in. All I do is work. And I live in town and work in town. So that means I go from my house to the shop and from the shop back to the house. Once in a while, I get a trip into the store in between there somewhere, but that's the extent of my traveling. All right, now we're just going to put the last row on and we'll be done for this week. I hope you're still enjoying this quilt. I like the quilt. I am very much looking forward to doing some real custom and ruler work on this quilt, which is one of the things that I'm thinking of adding as a demo on the machines. If you're interested, let me know, because if I don't hear anything, I'm less likely to do it. I just don't know if that's something that you want to see. I like it. I think it'd be fun. I am by far not an expert in any of it. I don't consider myself an expert, but if you can learn from me, learn from my mistakes, that's a good thing. There we go. I'll just iron this one, and then I'm going to show you what we're working on for the hybrid bag class, which is really fun. This is the second in a series, a 2-class series for the Take a Stand bag and the insert that goes in the Take a Stand bag. And I don't think I have the bag here, but I do have the insert, which is the April's class. All right. There we go. And there are your blocks. All right, let me show you the insert. Let me put scissors. Here it is. And it zippers all the way around the outside. And when you open it up, you would put it over your Take a Stand bag like an A-frame, and it'll hold. It's got pockets for all of your tools and notions when you're working at your machine or you go to class. I think it's cool. I like it. I like it, like it, like it. There you go. How cool is that? Even has a little handle, but it'll fit inside your Take a Stand bag, which was the class we did last month. Or I should say this month, because tomorrow's the 1st. All right, that's it for today. If you have any questions or comments or issues, you know where to reach me. Have a great day, everybody.